Hello everyone, welcome to Aspire High channel, an educational content channel primarily intended to cover management studies. In continuation to the previous video sessions, in this video session, we'll start Unit 3, Environment and HRM of Human Resource Management course, MMPC 2 of MBA program of IGNOU in the distance mode. In this first session for Unit 3, we will have an overview of Unit 3 topics, and also we will try to discuss two topics at the minimum in Unit 3. Let us have an overview of Unit 3, Environment and HRM. There are 6 topics in Unit 3. Organizational Environment and HRM, Strategic HRM, International HRM, HR Analytics, Fourth Industrial Revolution and HRM, and Artificial Intelligence and HRM. Learning objectives. At the end of the Unit 3, expected learning objectives are: understand the environmental or organizational factors and its influence on HRM, explain the concept of SHRM, discuss the importance of international HRM, understand the concept of HR analytics, highlight the emerging trends, that is fourth industrial revolution and artificial intelligence and their influence on HRM. Normally, from the examination point of view, short notes questions are expected from this particular Unit 3, but at the same time, we cannot underestimate as far as 20 marks question is concerned. Once in the previous 8 semester papers, when I have gone through term and examination papers, once strategic HRM was asked for 20 marks essay question and expecting the detailed discussion on the theories of strategic HRM. So the possibilities of getting a 20 marks question is not ruled out. However, mostly we can expect short questions from this Unit 3. All these examination approaches we will discuss at the end of block 1, that is after completion of Unit 3, as discussed and made clear in the first video itself. So we will start the first topic, organizational environment and HRM. This is a broad overview of this unit rather. More interesting and important topics follow. So let us have a brief outline of this organizational environment and HRM. There are two major factors. One is the external environment and the second is the internal environment affecting the functioning of human resource management. So external environment we can broadly classify into 5 types here. The first one is government regulations, that is sometimes a particular state may have certain regulations that will have a bearing on the functioning of any company in a operating in that particular state. They have to be complied with, like the minimum wages, etc. And the government regulations will be having a bearing on the hiring and firing of personnel also, subject to certain freedom in a private sector company and subject to so many other provisions of laws. So second one is the economic conditions. Here what is important is economic conditions are going to be, normally we say that there will always be an economic cycle, that means upward trend and downward trend. So the organization should have the fair assessment of the what is going to happen as far as the economy is concerned, into what extent it is going to have an impact on the organization. Then comes the impact on the HRM function. What is expected here is that just like ants saving food for the future, some future planning is required so that even in a downturn economy also the company is able to move forward without having much impact on any of its functions, including the morale of the workforce. Because suppose its economic trend is adverse, if people go on getting fired from the organization, the morale of the employees is going to be affected. So that is another important factor. Some futuristic planning is required. Third one is the technological advancements. Technological advancements are going to happen, no doubt. Every time we say that technology is going to change, the same software is also going to have upgraded versions over a period of time. but we have to calculate the cost saving vis-a-vis the cost of the technological upgradation. To what extent the net cost saving is there, that is to be assessed by the HR people. As far as the HRM functioning is concerned, we are talking of technological advancement within the HRM function. Next is the workforce demographics. Workforce demographics means at a particular point of time, some senior people are going to leave the organization by virtue of their retirement, superannuation, and young people going to join the organization. The cultural values of the outgoing people will be slightly different from the cultural values of the values and belief systems of the young workforce. So one has to have a fair understanding of what are the expectations of the new people, and accordingly the policy framework is also to be suitably be divided, and or if wherever necessary the existing policies are to be modified, because older generation people have a loyalty to the organization. Their changing jobs was not there for them, those who have joined some 30 years before, like that, whereas in the case of younger generation, switching over jobs is quite common. So what is expected by them for having retention, employee engagement and continuity with the organization, and their mindset is to be assessed, and accordingly steps are to be taken. The last one is the legal factors, more or less the first one government regulations, that is there are so many acts like the Bonus Act, Apprentice Act. You should not forget certain the main organizations apprentice is mandatory, and Trade Unions Act. All these things will have a bearing. HR people have to be consciously aware of all those things. Now comes the second one, internal environment. Internal environment will also have a bearing on the HRM function. First one is the organization size, which is very easy to comprehend also. In a big organizations, everything will be very systematic and well laid down. Size of the organization plays an important role in determining so many policies, HR policies. Whereas in small organizations, that much level of HR policy making is not possible. Second is organizational structure. We discussed earlier, structure means the hierarchy levels. The next one is organizational strategy. Whenever we use the word strategy, number of times it was used. It is simply defined as competitive advantage. To take competitive, what steps are to be taken for having a competitive advantage for the organization. That is organizational strategy. And organizational culture. Organizational culture means the belief systems, the core values, shared values, commonly shared by all the people in the organization, affecting the behavior of the employees. And the next one is the trade unions, dealing with the trade unions, the rapport that is maintained with them, good industrial relations. That is an important internal environment. And the last one is compensation. Compensation, why it is an important factor is, it is as an internal environment factor is that compensation for employees, that is the salary structure, etc., should not be too high or too low. Because if it is too low, what is going to happen? There will be more and more attrition, and you may not get the right people into the organization. If it is too high, it will have a bearing on the profitability of the organization. For that, what is required is an industry survey. How other their peers are paid is to be conducted, and accordingly due diligence is to be applied in deciding the compensation matters by the HR people. From the examination point of view, the topic that we have just now covered is not that much more important, whereas this topic is very important. It could be asked as a short notes question or even as a 20 marks question. Once it was asked for 20 marks question. So please understand the concepts very clearly, and also note down the points that are enlisted here in these slides, so that your students could prepare a very much useful notes for revision for the examination. Because in the course material or any other standard textbook, many pages will be there covering the strategic HRM, but ultimately from the examination point of view, we may not be having the time to even revise that. So some notes making is necessary, and the contents that is condensed in these slides will be of much help for the students. Please follow accordingly. Strategy was also discussed, even strategic HRM was also discussed in the previous units. Once again, we wanted to, of course, in this particular topic, strategic HRM, now in this unit, we wanted to have more comprehensive discussion. Strategy is defined, just now I said the strategy is nothing but having competitive advantage. So, more clear definition is the formulation of organizational missions, goals and objectives, as well as action plans for achievement that explicitly recognize the competition and the impact of outside environmental forces. Two more factors, that is two factors. One is the competition, that is what we said, competitive advantage, and impact of outside environmental forces. All these two things are taken into consideration, and for that, our formulation of mission, goal, objective. All these things, the differentiation was discussed in earlier video sessions. Very clearly, I defined what is a goal, what is an objective. Goal is a journey, objectives are milestones, like that. Similarly, we also said that it is not just preparing, but action is also important. That means implementation part is also part of strategy. That is why we said here in the definition itself, as well as action plans for achievement. In this way, strategy is defined. Strategic human resource management is defined as a process that links HRM policies and practices with the strategic objectives of the organization to improve performance. So, this was also discussed earlier, but once again I am defining this. Now, just an extension of strategy to strategic HRM. SHRM is defined as a process that links the HRM policies and practices with the strategic objectives of the organization to improve performance. So, what are the steps involved? First one is organizational identification. Organizational identification means, as already just now discussed, what is in any company you will see there will be a mission statement, there is a vision statement. In the annual reports also they are published in the front pages. After that, goals and subsequently objectives are the intermediary things for achieving the final goal. There should be a clear identification of organizational vision, mission, goals and objectives. Next, the SWOT analysis. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats that are available? This is a general basic principles of management topic, SWOT analysis, that you all know. And one more thing is pestle analysis. Maybe for some students this pestle word may be new. That is political, economic, social, technological, environmental and legal. I repeat, political, economic, social, technological, environmental and legal. All these factors are to be analyzed to have a macro environment view for the organization. After that, the strategy is to be formulated, as already said in the definition, it is to be implemented, and after that, whether it is achieving the desired results or not is to be evaluated. These are the various steps involved in the strategic HRM. Now comes the theories of HRM. There are two theories of HRM, both belong to early 1990s. In fact, this first one, Barnes resource-based review, was first propounded by some other thinker in 1958, but it is Barnes who has popularized it and somewhat improved it. That's why, for all practical purposes, we refer this resource-based review as a Barnes resource-based review only. According to him, human capital is vital resource for an organization. No doubt it is a vital resource for any organization. And at the same time, when we say so, a question arises. Why not technology? Why not finance? Are they not vital resources of an organization? Yes, they are also vital resources. But regarding the competitive advantage, that is having a strategy, when we are having a due planning, it is more practical and feasible to put in place a good SHRM. So, that there should be a conscious effort for that. What is required? You have to acquire and develop your people, human resources, that is employees, who are better skilled and who are highly qualified, better skilled and proper attitude. All those things, the KSA concept we discussed earlier, that such people are to be hired, and so that they are capable and better skilled when compared to their peers in other companies in a particular industry in which it is operating or a sector. That makes a lot of difference in the ultimate achievement of objectives of an organization. So, we wanted to highlight our SHRM when compared to other strategies. that is resource based view. Resource is important and resource is primary, and out of which the human capital, the manpower or the workforce is the vital resource we wanted to stress upon. There are three approaches. The first one is high performance management, second one is high commitment management, third one is high involvement management. First one, high performance management, means developing several interrelated HR processes and implementing collectively, leading to better performance, high performance. Commitment means mutual commitment. Mutual commitment means employer-employee. Employer-employee, there should be a mutual commitment, higher cadre, lower cadre, there should be mutual trust. That leads to high commitment management. And the last one is high involvement management, means communication should be very clear without any barriers down the line, and also sometimes wherever required upward communication also. When these lines are very clear, a sense of belongingness will come to everybody working in an organization. That leads to higher involvement, leading to better results. That is what we mean by high involvement management. So these are the three approaches in Barnes resource based review. The second theory is integration approach, given by Armstrong and Brown in 1990s, early 1990s. HR policies and practices under HRM should be in alignment with the overall organizational strategies. That was also discussed in earlier videos, that the HR policies must have proper alignment with overall organizational strategies. This is called the integration approach. This was brought out by Armstrong and Brown. There are three types of integrations. The first one is horizontal integration. Horizontal integration you can easily understand with other departments, it means. This involves aligning HR practices across different departments within the same level of the organization. That is what we mean by horizontal. It ensures consistency in our HR policies, such that recruitment, training and performance management, whatever these people do in HR department, is in consonance with the requirements in other functions of the organization. Because in the first video sessions itself we discussed that HR subsystem is a central subsystem. It is a central subsystem and it is very important. So next comes the important point you have to, from the examination point of view. For the horizontal integration, means the key concept is internal fit. Please remember, it is internal fit. Continuation to that, the second one is vertical integration. In the vertical integration, the key concept is external fit. That is, the refers to aligning HR practices with the overall business strategy and objectives. Everything is one and the same. Only thing is the types of integration we are talking of. One is horizontal, second is vertical. It ensures that HR activities support the long-term goals and vision, such as strategic workflows planning and leadership development. Here the important concept is external fit rather than internal fit in horizontal integration. And you can easily understand the third one, combined integration. That is mixing both, integrating both horizontal and vertical integration. Ultimately, that is what is required in SHRM as propounded in this integration approach. That is, you should have a proper alignment with your all other departments in the same plane. That is horizontal integration. Next, also you have to have a vertical integration with the overall business strategy and objectives of the organization in the entire organization setup. Thereby, it ensures that HR practices are aligned both within the organization and also with the overall business strategy. The key concept is naturally a mixing of both internal as well as external fit. This is an important topic from the examination point of view also. We shall meet in our next video presentation coming up in a few days, wherein we will continue this Unit 3. We will try to cover 2 more topics. Thanks for watching. Happy learning. Please subscribe to the channel and give your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.